Hey guys, Jeremy Ash from TTAG here, thetruthaboutguns.com. I've been on vacation in Florida, haven't posted a video in a while, visiting grandparents basically for the whole month. But I figured I'm a couple hours away from Kel-Tec. I don't know if you can see the sign back there, but we're here in Cocoa, Florida. We're gonna go inside the Kel-Tec factory and warehouse, take a tour, see how they make the guns, check out their quality control, learn a little bit, whatever we can. And yeah, let's hit it.
They come and they dump them in here. ATM Recycle comes and picks it up, and they wipe it out for the air. This is one of our new saws right over here. So I'll bring you guys over here to check this out.
It's 20 years more advancement in technology than our old one. Cuts more precise. It's got a new blade design. It's got a hydraulic vertical vise, which our drops are going to be less. These are drops, which is time. It's a part. So we have to go back and cut this part to the correct size. The new machine is going to save us time, money, and parts.
And increase production levels?
Much.
Awesome.
We're making 4 more bins, so we're going to get more product out of here to the machine where it belongs and get production going a little bit more.
Cool. And what are these slated to become?
These are shotgun barrels.
All right.
They're just in raw form right now. These are drops, so they're going to be a little bit more shorter in this area.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll be made into shotgun barrels.
Sweet.
Thanks, Mike.
These are frames, P380 frames. So they start out in raw form.
It's going to be storage, all the metal pipes, all this stuff we're getting in, the steel, everything gets stored down in this area. Mm-hmm. One of the main reasons for this building was customer service and storage. So a lot of in here is going to be that. Cindy here, what are you checking in, Cindy? Nickel boron?
Yes.
Sorry, she's pounding right now. They check in here heat treat, they check in the nickel boron, a lot of the outside vendors that we use gets checked in right here. We saw a lot of the salt bath nitrate stuff over here, stuff 1,000 barrels. Now to the right is our foreman shop. It's a very important department because he fixes everything in every building. He can fix it, and he does. In a very timely manner, which keeps the company up and running constantly. A lot of this you're going to see on this wall is going to be polymer storage. So all polymer parts, grip halves, stock halves. We've got KSG right forend, left grip, butt pads, random polymer accessories, also accessories for the store. This main department right here is sandblasting, which I don't really like to bring people in there because a lot of dust and stuff in there, it can get under the eyeglasses. So they have to come they wear it here.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to make our way to the finishing.
Oh, wait, are you done?
Blues right at like 300 degrees, pretty much like a chemically induced rust. Pretty much put it in that cleaner, which is right at about 200 degrees for 10 minutes or so. Wash it off. Put it in the first tank, which is like 280 degrees to get it like a gray color. And it goes into the last tank there, which is 300 degrees, which gives it the black, real black finish.
Right.
And then after that, you hose it off and dry it off of the air and oil it, and that's about it.
How long do you have to put in the
15 minutes.
What I want at home, a giant tumbler, and doing reloading, all kinds of stuff. What
ceramic.
they do is they'll throw a whole bunch of slides in here, and the slides are bare metal slides that are already pre-cut, but they haven't been finished yet. So what they need to do is these rocks will basically hold the slides, and they'll move around like so with oil, and it deburrs the slides. So that way you don't have all the sharp points on them, and they can move over to finishing and then straight to sub-assembly, which we're going to hit up next. So,
Hi, good.
can you tell me what you ladies are doing?
PMR 30 slide things.
Yes, it is. We trim it today.
Trimming today?
Yes, but we do something more exciting than just trim. We do have the slides. Let me show you one because you can have an idea how it is. what we do.
Okay, so the whole assembly, you're putting the fiber optics in
Put
and
all together.
the
First,
barrel.
prep work. What is a straight handle? Those sides comes in a big, like you can see right there, and you cut this one side, reborn it, and ready to go. This is the one we have just for sure. It's about like a 25 little parts go together.
How long does it take from all these spare parts to an assembled slide?
You see, prep work is a little bit more time consuming than the other stuff. So if you take one day to prep, you know, to build is easy. You know, it's like we do, right now we do 250 a day, around 125 each of us. Yes. So the prep work is a little bit more time consuming.
Yeah, you're deburring and taking
that's
flashing off and
Yeah.
such. Mold flashing.
And put it together, it's way more quick and
So you don't even see the inside once it's assembled.
Yeah, no, this goes.
just on top. Yes, so, you know, it's
And is that just to make sure that it bolts on flush?
Yes, like it goes all the way
because
through.
into the end, still looking for something that's not.
Sorry. Howdy.
Hello, this is a KSG shotgun grip. I'm putting the trigger in right now. That's the safety. This is the hammer. This is the action bar. And then we put that in the top of the grip.
How many of you sub-assemblies do you get through a day?
Our quota is 125 a day per person.
Okay.
Yeah.
The different stations.
This is one that's got all the screws in it, and before we send it out to the next, we pull it back, fire it, and make sure the safety works.
All right, so everyone goes through that function check?
Every gun goes through that before we send it out
Cool.
to the next process.
And here we have Toby. She's assembling the second gen Sub 2000 front sight, which is a very meticulous part to build. I give her that.
Just get parted. Some of them to this point. Work all the components and stuff inside here. And just put the screws in now. Loctite screws. And then the 7-air. And then I put the handguard on. So.
We got PMR 30 magazines being assembled. SC16 A stocks over here being assembled. We're doing some video and photo. If you could just kind of show them what you do with the sub-assembly for the Sub 2000 second gen barrel.
Sure.
Thank you.
Just
Yeah, doing great.
start off by putting the hardware on the jig, and I do 3 at a time. Make sure that's down. Make sure the barrels are clean. Press the barrels down. Put the top far end on. And the back takes longer screws.
How many of these do you expect to do?
We do 200 a day.
Okay.
This is the tan that we're doing. This is the last of the tan, and we will switch over to the black. After this day. 200 again every day.
Where you can put your accessories.
And the old M-lock feature.
Windage adjustment screw here. Elevation here.
Both heads come in, put in firing pin and the spring in there. Then put it on here, pin it with the pin. Then you can put it in here. Put in firing pin like that. Okay, that part is ready to go, okay? Assemble it on this one. Put a spring in the extractor. And then put pin and put it in there again. Tamp it down. Then it goes on this jig. And then the firing pin is put in. Extractor pin. And before it goes into the bins, it's checked for the depth and to make sure that it springs back and forth so that when they go to fire it and test them over there, it's perfect.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
For the Sub 2000 recoil springs, and basically you take the recoil spring plug and guide and put it in here. And then you put the spring through here and slide it through. And pull. Sometimes it'll get stuck in here, so just kind of have to get it out that way. And voila.
Huh.
Yep.
Cool. Thank you.
CMR brakes. That would be the next one.
Yeah, and all this stuff. Sure.
We are prepping today.
Oh, prepping today?
Yeah.
What are you prepping right now?
This is the feed ramps.
Here, I've got this one, Sean. It's got some parts.
Yeah. This
Okay,
one's-
awesome.
These are, yeah, this is painting the sites today.
So basically what they saw over here, they hand paint all the sites. So both sides are all hand painted.
Here, let them dry.
They are trimmed here. Feed ramp, which she's doing now, is a sub-assembly here.
Goes on the bracement bar.
Bracement bar, which is right here. And that gets installed over here. And the button, which is there. And also the bar over here.
And they get screwed together.
And they get completely assembled and then set next door, which we're about to have.
Assembling 22 Magnum 30 round CMR 30 rifle grip. So take the trigger assembly, the trigger bar, and trigger spring, slide it onto the trigger axis, mag catch axis, and the CMR 30 is very similar to the PMR 30. A few minute differences, those differences being that it has a frame side support to support the buttstock. It also is reinforced to be a rifle as opposed to a pistol, and so it has that longer barrel assembly as well. Generally, I build 5 to 10 at a time, depending on what rate I want to work at that day, and quota is 100 per day. So we usually try to get as close to that as possible.
Sure. And you like to do like all the same step and then all the same step and then...
Exactly.
So I do multiple at a time.
Yeah, but it makes it a little easier to increase productivity that way in order to be able to kind of get some fluidity going.
Right.
So. However, it's been a little while, about a week since I assembled CMRs, because we were running a little bit ahead of final assembly, and so slowed down a little bit to let them catch up. But this is what the fully assembled piece looks like, which is what this will turn into inevitably. And so essentially what I do is I put in the initial parts, and then this whole box gets sent over to final assembly, and final assembly puts in the firing pin, the magazine assembly on the inside there, and they assemble the slide, the upper rail, and the buttstock onto the back.
Yeah, put them to where the top, the big, goes up. And then you take your left stock, put it on there, and put your butt down. And then your lifter, and then your stock pin. And then your right. And your screws, which is a 16mm screw. It takes 5 of them. Just throw it. And then, as long as it sounds like a duck track, that's it.
Awesome.
Thank
you.
Cutting it down to 25-yard range definitely gave us a lot more space, a lot more storage. The shipping department needed more room. They needed more shelves to put guns on. So there's a lot of need for more space. So having a 100-yard range was not as beneficial as having a 25-yard range. Getting more guns out the door, having more space for everybody to make work a lot easier, which can in return help guns get out a lot faster, which is our overall goal. And we'll make our way to the shipping department here in a minute so you guys can see the big difference. This used to be covered with trees in here, but there was a fire. We had a bunch of fires, a bad problem right on the side of 95, and it wound up popping over the fence and getting into this whole area here. And yeah, a lot of these trees were, some of them kind of still have that black tint to them in the cracks. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, some of them did survive, but it was a tragedy, but it kind of helped in a way because we had a lot of raccoons that would attack people at lunchtime, or try and chase them at lunchtime. Seriously? Yeah, so the owner was like, all right, sent one of the guys that hunts, you gotta get these things out of here. And a couple weeks later, a fire happened, and they cleared it all out.
Those fires sounding less like an accident now.
Yeah. Yeah, that fire, they were bad going over 95 for a while. Alright, so this is the main KSG assembly area in here. This is where they're all being assembled. Here we have the bolts, the actuator springs, the frame pins with the captor springs in it, which the captor spring is very important in the KSG. A lot of the small internal parts we have right here. Everything's going to be right here ready for these guys. The welded parts come from welding into finishing. Very nice welding that they've been doing on there. We've got a couple new welders over there, people in training, and they've been doing an amazing job with the welds, which we're very, very happy about. And then here we have just the barrel assembly. It's just got barrel, trunnion, top rail, front cap there, and pump. So this is a sub-assembly to what is going to be final assembly, which we will make our way over there. We've got bolt carriers and stuff, bolt carriers over there. They're all been pre-welded.
Stand-up shot.
And we have a KSG receiver with just the tubes and the cap put on there, springs, and the selector switch with the detent spring in there. So this is basically ready for a sub-assembly to be installed on the weapon. have one of the nickel boron. So this is one of the nickel boron finishes, which is a very hardy finish. This is a sub 2000 area. So we have, with the second gen, as you know, the second gen is now the actual receiver. It is not just a tube anymore. Feed ramps get installed right in the front there, which basically is going to set in the receiver like so. So this would be sitting in there just like that. And what's good about the sub 2000 for protection of the user, which we really like to emphasize, is that all this steel wraps around to where it would go towards the operator's face. So if you ever get a case rupture, a bad load, a bad reload, or anything like that, if it does perhaps not enter the chamber and fire out a battery, this steel is going to protect the user from any personal damage to them. And also, a double protection is the polymer Zytel we use is made to stretch and swell. It's not made to crack or brittle or break, which a lot of people will ask, well, if it's plastic, is it going to break? Well, it's not plastic, it's polymer Zytel. There is a big difference. It swells, it does not crack. So there's a lot of safety features due to if a bad round does go through the actual weapon. There's precautions that were taken to eliminate any physical damage to the user at all. Let's see, a couple that are already assembled here. Not sure what that one is. Yeah, more sub 2000s. They've got basically got two running lines, left and right side. I believe their quote is about 400 a week, 400 to 500 a week in there.
Okay.
About 100%. We can get those numbers from Matt.
Yeah, how many a year are you guys putting out? Do you know?
Our goal is about 150,000 overall, all weapons a year.
Okay.
They've not given me a number of specific subs or anything like that. It just all depends on what's going on with the parts and stuff like that, or something changes, or if there's anything like. Here we have one of the finished nickel boron slides for the PMR30, and the new sight's done by Hi-Vis, which we are ecstatic about. They've been one of the best sights that we have had on one of our weapons, and that is from Hi-Vis. Right.
Very cool.
Very nice.
I have
sight.
a Hi-Vis front on my competition pistol. So.
I've put in a couple Hi-Vis since I saw it. I went on their site and bought a couple, never went back. So this is PMR. Looks like they got some RAM parts over here, some CMR parts. We have the bolt sub-assembly here. So everything's done there. It's already been finished, ready for final assembly. And we do stamp 22 WMR on there for legal purposes.
I had someone ask, when are you guys going to do a 17 HMR, PMR, and CMR?
A lot of people inquire about the 17 or the
Really?
22 long rifle. Unfortunately, I have not heard anything from the engineers about it. They know we've been kind of putting the bug in their ear, but usually we don't find out until they're ready to go with it, because we have a tendency to let customers know about things a little early.
Right. So it has come up. That's interesting.
Yeah, and this is the first I've seen this one.
Oh, wow.
Full nickel boron CMR30. Definitely the first one I've seen.
That is cool.
And they will all come with Magpul and bus backup sights. Some colors we do as an exclusive that a distributor will order specifically. Burnt bronze was one of them. There was gold that was ordered. We don't do some of those standards. So when customers call in, we basically do tan, OD green, and black. But some of the other colors, like I said, they are distributor exclusive, so they would have to be specially ordered in that color from their distributor. And this, I believe, is one of them, which is a Patriot Brown.
Cool. We had a reader inquire about, they wanted a matched combo CMR, PMR, and bronze.
That one, I'm sure the distributor that ordered those special PMRs and burnt bronze will be ordering them for the CMR and burnt bronze. But I haven't heard anything on that yet, but they'll definitely keep in touch with us so they can find out some more of that. I'm doing a little bit right over here because they're eating right now, but show you the PMR frame.
This one is not ejector.
Oh, I'm going to eject everything. Okay. So this is the frame for the PMR30, almost the size of a dice. Everything is installed in there. It's a very meticulous part to get installed. Here's the fixture that we use basically to be able to get everything installed in there.
And that is the firearm, correct?
This is the firearm itself, yes. So every other part can be purchased for the PMR30 except for the frame itself.
RFB barrel.
So that is pre-assembled, getting ready to be done.
Those are pretty beefy trunnions, or whatever you call them.
Oh yeah.
And solid steel.
And this is the RFB bolt, titanium nitride. And it's a very, very hardy finish. Very
That's
good
the bolt,
finish.
huh?
Oh yeah.
That is crazy.
You got the back of
looking.
your firing pin there. You got a firing pin hole right there.
Huh.
There we go. That's a fully assembled one here. So you got dual extractors on there. That's a beefy bolt face, if I like to call it one. Very strong bolt. The RFB is a very, very hardy weapon. They're all individually made. One heck of a weapon. A bolt with the barrel assembly and with the receiver. So this is the receiver, bolt, barrel assembly that are all proof tested. And our adjustable gas system up here has already been installed, which distributors for this burnt bronze color. Which I like the color, but it's very hard to find accessories that are going to even be similar in matching color. Unless you wind up getting it Cerakoted, which burnt bronze is kind of making its way into the Cerakoting world.
Yeah, is this the Cerakote brand burnt bronze?
This is the Cerakote burnt bronze. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
This is the titanium tactical gray, they call it now. Right down here. So this is the tactical gray that we also do, which is a distributor exclusive. Here's a lot of. So we got complete slides here. PF9 slides, we've got complete here, and Cerakote there, blued ones here, we got P11s, SU16 C-bolt carrier. C-bolt carrier, you can tell because it has this dust cover right there. Dust cover only comes on the C or the CA model. Now we've got, this is our SU16A barrel. The A barrel, we within a few years, we had the A barrel for a long time, had a polymer front sight with a pink blade in it. A lot of people are going to remember that. We wanted to do away with that. So we got rid of the rear buckhorn that was, or the peep, I'm sorry, that was polymer, and got rid of the polymer front sight, added everything adjustable, made it all aluminum, and we've been very, very happy with that ever since.
And that's just a standard AR post in it?
Yep.
Cool.
Now people can switch them out. There's so many different brands out there. We can take a look at that. SU16B barrel is a barrel profile that's has not hit the market as loud as we want it to. It is the featherweight barrel. It is the lightest of all the SU16s. History wall, because this was part of the range. So once we start getting a little further, you're going to start to see bullet holes from the actual test firing procedures, which I'm going to do a couple of items here. They patched up some of them. We're going to find some here and there. And caution. Here we got CMR is getting ready to be test fired.
This is racks of loaded magazines.
Yeah, and reload all the magazines.
So what's the protocol? Is there a certain number of rounds per gun?
It's right now it has changed before due to ammunition availability. But every gun does get a proof load shot through it.
Okay.
Which a proof load is 10% passive pressure of a standard load. So if it's going to rupture in the barrel, or the barrel has any kind of rupture or any kind of imperfection in there, we're going to see it on the proof load, and it will never leave the factory. Yeah, so here's the P11. Just to show you what a proof round looks like, and I like to show these because if anybody ever runs into one, you don't want to shoot it through your gun. And I have seen people sell them at a gun show. All that purple on there is what's going to tell you that is a proof round next to the regular casing. So what we do is we like to put the regular casing in there first. That's going to be the first load to go through. Make sure everything's shooting well with the first load. Then we put the second load in. After the second load has gone through, then it's ready for shipment to the consumer. Go inside here and check out the a lot of this brass we donate to our local sheriff's department. They will come and pick it up, and they use it for reloading, and they do their practice shooting, long-range practice shooting with the 308 casings. Not so much the shotgun shells, I don't think, but you never know. There's our sheriff's department, they're very smart gentlemen out there, and they have a lot of good people working for them that may be able to make that happen. A lot of fixtures you'll see in the actual booths are to shoot some of the rifles and shotguns, because we We don't want anybody test firing a rifle close to their face with a proof round in there unless they're safe. Now, we did have face masks, but we just didn't feel like that was adequately safe enough. And it doesn't pass standards, so we long enough. I'm not 100% what that was for. I believe it's going to be for the RDB and the RDB-C model, which we're releasing later this year. Need to be shipped. Inspected and shipped.
Always in the way.
And we got all these walls, they're all ready to be shipped. It's being packaged, being shipped constantly. And this is what I mean by we needed that space to be able to get more guns and more production out. And get Mr. Robert Trent over here to get guns shipped out for us.
Yeah, well, this is where the rubber meets the road.
Yeah. This is Robert Trent. He's been with this company for quite a while, and he's been shipping guns out for that whole, basically the entire time.
Yeah. If we don't get the guns out, the money doesn't come in. So
and he's been doing it for a long time, and
gotta get them out.
Place, so he's doing a damn good job.
Some
There's guns in here.
Not these. These are just regular.
A lot of these are going to Davidson's. It looks like.
These. Guns on guns on guns.
Oh yeah. This is one thing I wish I could send to a lot of customers. Is this right here?
Yeah.
Shipping to Davidson's. Davidson. Every box here is shipping to Davidson's, but I get so many dealers calling me saying Davidson's hasn't gotten any in a year. Heading to Davidson's, I promise. Labels are made.
Barrel blanks.
Barrel blanks. Looks like it's going to be a 7000 if I'm not mistaken. That is the blank here. We'll get over to the threading process and all that good stuff here.
This is what we start out with, and this is what it turns into next. This is the completed frame.
This P380.
Wow. This part only has two sides done to it, but you can imagine what it looks like. And then we got third off right here, so it gets cut from the bottom, and then we flip it back over, and it gets done the top. So one off from each side.
Hey Mark, you got anything going on in here? Yeah. PMR firing pins. You can see the laser machine in there. Get a lot of production done in a very quick amount of time. Yes, that's the PMR firing pin being laser right there, lasered out. And they all get punched out by hand. Cutting, it will be the final product when it's popped out. And Mark over here, he popped each and every one of them out by hand. I cannot on that. Oh, yeah. 24, that is one complete sheet. All going to be popped out by hand. Sight holders. running right now. 7,000 sight holder.
About 18 minutes.
Nice cone.
Yeah, that's about midway. Still needs a little bit of work done to make it the final product, but that is about midway through right there. Do you have any finished yet or no?
That machine's doing second op. They're probably in QC by now.
Oh, okay.
This is the magazine tube selector. The KSG?
Yep. KSG. You just have to get the notches put in there, get it to finishing, and then to final assembly. What do you got going on today?
I'm making muzzle plates. Those are super dirty.
I remember last time I got my hands filthy grabbing these things. So that's a base raw, and I'll have her show you what she does there.
All right, what it does on the first part of it is gonna take this off from there, and gonna bore out these holes, and then they cut into the handles and they the chamfer out of there. And then when the second op comes, you flip it over. It'll face mill off the edge, then do a chamfer around the whole thing, drill these holes, and then you set it up in the back, just like that. And it comes down and drills this holes and then thread it out. And then it goes into the front of the KSG gun. It's really awesome. Here's the barrel, and a couple bolts right here. And the barrel comes through right there, and then the Picatinny rail sits on the top of that.
Awesome.
Thank you. Quick, I love people in particular.
So where can and can't the employees carry loaded firearms on their persons in the facility here?
Where?
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. They encourage us to carry. They will actually reimburse us for part of the concealed carry license, because they want us to carry weapons here. They promote open carry or concealed carry. I just choose to conceal carry because I go pick up my son, and I got kids and family after work. So
That wasn't an XD, was it?
XD, yes. Yes, it was.
Okay. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I pack my PF9 more when I'm jogging and stuff, and on my kayak it's super light and I can keep it on there. But this one I got a hand-me-down from my dad, so I'm kind of trying it out a little bit, seeing how it does.
Right. Not bad for a Croatian product.
Basically, we start with racks of 120 receivers that come over from the finishing department, pardon me. And generally what we get is this right here, just a finished receiver housing, trunnion area. And then we slide them into our little jig here, if you will. We put a couple of followers in each one, put a couple of mag springs in each one. We put Loctite in. We have fashion tools made here on premises. And then we just lock them down.
Oh, that's good.
At which point, this would now move over to this department over here. At which point we take a series of different parts. Can somebody answer that, please? We install these parts inside. Oop, got away from me. You'll end up with this. When we function test everything, we put a couple of dummy rounds in each one and make sure that everything is going to work the way it's supposed to.
Great.
This is a finished product, and from this department, from here it would go over to final assembly, where they would serialize it as an actual serialized receiver, and then send it on to the final assembly group right there in the same building to have it all complete and send it on to test fire.
So this is one of the newest rooms we have available. And all the way on the far side, these two ladies are the only ones in here at the moment. And our barrels all assembled there with the magical sights already ready.
Sweet.
She's got some stuff she can show you on subassembly for the CMR barrel.
So, bottom rail, barrel. We already have everything pre-put together. Ejector.